that question two ways. How do you love someone and that person has abandonment issues and is very insecure and has big, gigantic overreactions, and you're always coping with a new drama because they get very emotionally hijacked over many little triggers that occur in the relationship. So how do you love someone who has abandonment issues and who turns your life upside down because you're dealing with their sort of emotional instability due to abandonment issues? That's one way of interpreting the question, and that's a big question. I hear a lot of people in those situations saying, I need to get help for my partner because he or she has abandonment issues and it's very hard to cope. The other side of that question is, how do I love someone if I have abandonment issues? And I think I'll focus on that part just for this moment, because what that's about is that you become most vulnerable when you like someone or love someone or are attracted to someone, when that person brings out the mating feeling in you. When you have a mating feeling toward another person, that makes you the most vulnerable you will ever be. If you feel attracted to that person, you want to know that person is attracted to you. It's immediately incumbent on the feeling to be reciprocated, because anything short of getting that reassurance makes you feel, it brings out the shame. I'm not enough. I love them, but they don't love me. I think they're wonderful, but they don't think much of me. They're special to me, but I'm not special to them because I'm not enough. There's something wrong with me. There's something fundamentally missing in me. So those feelings of shame, we all have them, are lurking beneath the surface. And the minute we go to love someone, those feelings become the most vulnerable that we can ever feel them. They really come to a head. We're not conscious of all the shame messages. Those are mostly unconscious. We're just conscious of being insecure and vulnerable. We're conscious of not being able to trust the other person. Now, intellectually, we may know that it's not the other person. I have people telling me all the time, I know it's not him. It's me. It's in me. He's always trying to reassure me. I can't feel secure. It's my own abandonment issue. So even when the mistrust, intellectually, we know it's not because the other person is causing it. Even then, it is hard to deal with not really trusting that you are attachment worthy, that you're worthy of being kept, that you're so valuable, the other person will do everything he or she can to stay in the relationship. Now, there's an answer to this dilemma, and the answer works for both sides of this question, whether you're having trouble loving someone and your own insecurity is making you mistrustful and insecure and anxious about being abandoned any minute, or whether that person is having that reaction. The answer is the same, and it is that each one of us is responsible for our own sense of security. So when you're in a partnership and the other person is insecure, you can remind yourself that you're not responsible to make that person secure. You can be helpful. You can be a very kind person and make it as easy as you can for the other person. But you'll never be able to reassure the other person. It's in them. So it's very clear that each one of us is responsible for making ourselves secure. That is what we do when we're the ones insecure and feeling vulnerable. When we realize that our job is to become a self-sufficient, emotionally self-reliant person, and that our job is to find ways to give ourselves a sense of security, to give ourselves a sense of centeredness on the planet, to feel the strength of our own 2 feet our ability to stand alone, our ability to take care of ourselves, our ability to love ourselves and cherish ourselves and honor ourselves, because only we know how hard it is to be us. So once we realize that that is our responsibility and no one else's, we can begin to take the power away from that other person. We can begin to put the power back in ourselves. We don't do this perfectly. That other person still has power because we like them or love them. And they still have power, and they can still make or break our day. But all of that is going to happen. But the primary responsibility is with ourselves. And once we really work on that and put our focus there, we become emotionally self-sufficient, and usually that adds to our cachet. It adds to our attractiveness or our lovability to the other person as well, because we are taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves. We're showing self at that point.
Do you think that a person should be totally healed of the abandonment issues before he or she can be in a relationship? Or can that person?
No, this is something that I feel that people make the mistake of waiting until they're no longer anxious and no longer insecure and no longer having hissy fits and no longer having emotional hijacks, and that they're not having those experiences. We could wait until the cows come home for that, and we would be avoiding relationships. The idea is that we are never perfect in these things. It's okay to enter into a relationship and have it be a roller coaster, and even a nightmare, because it is very, very vulnerable to try to get close to someone. But we can learn so much from it. We can gain so much strength from it. It's better to go in with positive intentions of taking care of ourselves, learning how to complete our own loop of self-love so we're not so dependent on the other person. All of those things are teachable moments, They're all opportunities to gain strength.
Okay, so where do they learn more about abandonment recovery? How do they find
my website, abandonment.net, has 120 pages of free information that will help people start a journey. Outerchild.net is all about the self-sabotage, the ways we sabotage our relationships and stand in our own way. All the abandonment books, Journey from Abandonment to Healing, and the rest of the books, and workshops. I'm running online workshops during the pandemic that actually have people helping people, with me adding input to make it a very powerful experience.
Okay, so you have different books, but which book do you recommend the most? I mean, where should they start?
Really, they could start anywhere. It's very hard for me to say. Some people have become lifelong, friends because of reading Black Swan. It gets right into the heart of the abandonment wound. All of the books deal with the primal wound of abandonment and how to heal it. So I would say the most basic textbook for it that will give you like an overview is Journey from Abandonment to Healing. But they all really cover a great deal of the material.